the first speaker, Olga Belonovich, and she's going to speak about killer whales and its effect on the Greenland turbot longline fisheries. Olga, the floor is yours. Hello, thank you. I would like to show the video as well. Dear participants of this conference, thank you. So our report is taped and it is a video and it is prepared by our PhD student. He is now far at sea and he took part in collection of this data and he is doing actually it right now, and we have prepared this talk on this topic. Okay, the relationship between killer whales and Greenland turbot fisheries. After this video, I will be ready to answer all your questions. The interrelationship between different species is well known all over the world. Killer whales swim around fisheries in different parts of the ocean, and the competition between these species and fishes can be observed in Far East of Russia. And since the middle of the 90s, when they began using certain types of fishing equipment, they report that Greenland turbot fisheries see that very often. And it means that fisheries lose this harvest, and killer weights can sometimes be damaged by this fishing equipment. The purpose of this work is to evaluate the impact of killer whales on the Greenland turbot commercial production. So this was conducted, this study was conducted in 2019 from February till May in the western part of the Okhotsk Sea. And you see here the boat, and you see all its major parameters. Its length is almost 60 meters. We have identified different sub-zones. You can see them displayed on the screen. So they were all coded, and all fisheries were observed by the investigators. And we were collecting a special database. This investigation included also sighting of killer whales, and we were taking photographs. The effective model was used for identifying climate parameters, the location, the timing of fishing, and so on. And we analyzed how the killer whales influence, so how much fish they eat during each of the fishing periods. And the data was used also when we identified repeated sightings of the same killer whales. Altogether, there were about 1,000 hours of observation, and out of 90 days in 2019, during 17 days, killer whales were observed, and during the 2020, the number of days was much longer. And we see here it is the number of skates. In 2019, it was almost 300, and in 2020, it reduced to 235. Altogether, in 2019 and 2020, Greenland turbot, it was the main type of commercial fish, and killer whales have damaged about 19%. And we see that the population of this species and it reduced drastically. As for the Pacific cod and the Pacific halibut, it hasn't changed. When killer whales approach the ship, commercial ship, okay, so in 100% of cases, killer whales used this chance and we also see, and it is expected, that the harvest of fish was much lower, and we see that 15%, this is the estimated loss. And the parameters that had been selected for this investigation proved to be valid. So neither the length of the fishing or the depth didn't influence it. The number of group of killer whales was from 2 to 6. The maximum was 8 animals, and only certain families of killer whales do this. In 2019, we identified 5 families with 17 animals, and in 2020, 9 animals. And some of them, 2 families, were observed previously as well. Altogether, about 72 mammals were identified, but of course, there are much more of them because we cannot identify all of them. And the overall estimated number is over 130. The fishers were trying to escape killer whales. Okay, they were moving to cod fishing, because killer whales are not interested in that. And but the maximum period of time without killer whales was 14 days. And now conclusions. Okay, during 2019-2020, about 15% of Greenland turbot was consumed about killer whales. And in 2019, the nothing affected killer whales, no weather conditions or location of deployed lines, and so on. During the last decade, the killer whale depredation on Greenland turbot does not exceed 20%. We would like to thank various organizations, fisheries, YAMSI and Dalrymple, captains and crew of these commercial ships. And also we would like to thank Alexander Varenketin and Sergei Koronev for organization and carrying out of this work. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. I would like to thank Olga for this interesting report. We have about 2 minutes for questions and answers. Okay, are you planning to continue this study? Thank you. Yes, we are going to do it at least for 1 more year. Yeah, in the Sea of Okhotsk. Yeah, we are going to collect data on the number of killer whales, and also we would like to identify methods of reducing their impact. Yeah, because they do it a lot. Yeah, as we heard it. Yeah, so this is a serious problem. So yeah, we are going to continue this work. Thank you very much. Right, there's a question if it is possible to join this expedition in the future. Olga, this is the question to you. Thank you very much for this question. Well, it depends, on your agenda and desire. We need to discuss more. Yeah, so let's get connected, later, and we can discuss it. Oh, you see, we are being, sexist. Yeah, so there are only women. No, yeah, because vice versa. Yeah, so it's hard for women to join the team. Yes, so for a man, it is easier. Yes, that was a question from a man. Yeah, so so they need to get in contact. Okay, thank you.